Reverend Rob Lee. Bold, smart, and straight to the point. This is Tarot with an Attitude.
Hey everybody, Reverend Rob here. Tarot with an Attitude. Wow, bangerang. Okay, here we go. This is for my Sagittarians out there. August 17th through the 23rd, this upcoming week. So let's take a look and see what you need to be aware of, what's going on. And as always, I'll be doing free readings on Monday night at 8:30. So come join me. Let's see what happens right here on the channel. So with all that being said, let's get this party started. For Sagittarius, for the week of August 17th through the 23rd, where do we need to focus? What do we need to look at? Let's take a look and see what Spirit's got to say. So the card that represents you this week is the Knight of Swords. Wow. So fire has had knights this week, and what we're looking at for you is the Knight of Swords. Where the Knight of Swords comes in, and we might actually even do a clarifier right out of the gate on this card. One of the things I want you to know about the Knight of Swords, he gets something in his head, he charges for it. Emotions don't enter into it. And the Knight of Swords is saying that you this week are moving ahead at great speed or whatnot. But the Knight of Swords always comes with a little bit of caution. The Knight of Swords can come through like a whirlwind and take emotion, take everything else, and just trample it into the ground. It only sees one thing, that's about getting the job done. So let's take a look here. Let me take a look at some clarifiers for this for the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is really cool, and you're moving into the future, you're moving ahead, you're moving forward, but make sure you're not just slaughtering everything in your path to get it done. It becomes headstrong, we become this, we get locked in, and those things come with a caution. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing it, but this is about being in your conscious mind, about saying things that's like, I'm going to say this, don't really matter what needs to be done, it needs to be said, that's it. Everything can be said with love and compassion, okay? So this is one of those things. So we are going to ask for some clarification for the Knight of Swords. And I'm going to take a look here, what we're getting, all right? We have right out of the gate, the Queen of Swords, all right? So here we are, right back into the swords. The Queen of Wands, all right? A lot of queen here. It's saying you got to take care of yourself, take care of people around you. Make sure that you're doing things. But there's some interesting things I'm seeing here in the artwork. And then we have the Queen of Wands and then the Four of Swords. So one of the things right out of the gate, the Queen of Swords in this deck is actually holding a mask. She's taken off her warrior and has decided I can't just always be the war face, slicing and chopping as we go. I have to stop and remember who I am. The Queen of Wands. You can be full of fire. You can be full of passion. You can move forward, but you have to do it with some gentleness. Remember that great divine feminine that is of spirit. Move forward gently and understand what's going on. But yes, keep moving forward. The Four of Swords is telling you real quick, a truce, hold up, okay? It's not time to go get a bigger hammer. It's one of those times to say, wait a minute, I need to look at this and there might be another way to get it done. But instead of just busting in and making sure everything goes helter-skelter, all right, you need to stop and look and think. Give your brain a break, okay? Don't get on a path that you'll regret later because you rushed through everything. That's what I'm getting. Your biggest challenge this week that's coming up is the Four of Wands. You know what? The Four of Wands is about having fun, being passionate, moving forward. And this is one of your things. You need to move forward, okay? But you also need to understand it's very important for you. Remember in that Four of Swords, we talked about truce, taking some time. Remember, everything around you is going to be affected by how forward and how fast and how hard you move in. So this Four of Wands is a challenge card, is to say to remember you have to build something with peace and you have to build it with other people. Other people are involved. You can't just throw caution to the wind and keep going. What I'm seeing here is the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, reminding us here that other people are involved that love you, care for you, or whatnot. But then the King of Wands is there as well. So what I'm getting here, you don't want to spin in circles, all right? But if you bust through, and we keep going through and you come in like a bull in a china shop, one of the things you're going to wind up doing is redoing work, redoing things, having to circle back and say, I'm sorry to people that care about you. That's what I'm saying. The King of Wands reminds you, fire is great. Keep that fire going, but it has to be balanced. You can't just fire off from your head and get going and just wipe everything out. Have you ever, one of the things I used to teach when I was teaching in another world was I taught some things that really relied on speed. And one of the first things that's coming to me here, Spirit is giving to me now, is reminding me that I would tell people, if you want to speed up, slow down. Make sure what you're doing is correct. Do it right. Kind of that measure twice, cut once, measure three times, cut once. That type of thing. You need to take that mentality into the world with you this week, into your relationships, into work, and everything else. Slow down. That is going to be what is key. Now, the root of this for next week is the Star. We tend to lose focus on where we're going and what we're doing. The Star is here to remind you there's always hope. Things happen. Some things need to heal, and some things take time. So the Star is here saying, I need you to calm down. I need you to take a look and remember, because this is a major arcana card. 17, 1 and 7 comes together for an 8. And an 8 always tells me, pay attention to the details. Listen to what's going on. See what's going on. Not saying don't take action, but understand that the 17 of the Star is saying Spirit will speak to you. There will be guidance. There will be calmness. There will be healing available to you. Whatever this may need or whatever this may be. When we look at the Star and Sagittarius, I want you to understand, I don't know why I just got told, you may be mad. There may be some things you're like, damn it, I'm going to charge right on through this. I really don't care. You know what? You may care tomorrow. Those are still people, other things, and their chores that you're going to have to answer for down the road. So the Star here in this situation as being the root of the issue for you coming up this week is we're looking at the Seven of Swords. Man, that's powerful. When you look at the Princess of Cups, and then we look at the Two of Pentacles. Now in this deck I'm using for my clarifiers, the Princess would be your page. So what I want you to understand here, the Seven of Swords, you're being exhausted, you did all this work, and you're going to steal your own joy because you rode in rough like Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders. Steady wins the pace. The Princess of Cups, remember, there are passion. There is time for love. There is time for joy. We have to do our work, but we need to find a way to make it joyful and to understand that we have to hold out through the whole week for this so that we can carry love, happiness, and joy through with us. The Two of Pentacles, you're going to have to do some balancing. Sometimes you may not feel that you have time to slow down and balance, but balance is going to be key. That Two of Pentacles, the decisions you make, the relationships you bust through are all going to be a part of how you deal with this Knight of Swords coming in for you this week. So chill, calm down, go slow. One of the things from the past that's showing me is the Queen of Swords. You know what? You've learned over the years to take time and plan and do and become very cerebral and analyze things and going. And sometimes throwing caution to the wind. And at times that is good. But the Queen of Swords is here reminding you, you got to sit down. You got to do things that not just care for yourself, but care for other people and those immediately around you. It's so very important. Now, the near future brings the Hierophant. If you will take your time, follow the bouncing ball, do the rules, be patient, use that Queen of Swords and say, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to reason this out. I have to look beyond myself. The Hierophant is here to tell you, for you, you need to remember rites, rituals, and people who are in your life. You do need to study. Get back, look at what's going on. You know, this is very Pope-esque in a lot of times in the Hierophant, and that's a 5. And one of the things we need to remember out of 5, that can bring some conflict and some chaos, but it brings beautiful creativity. I'm going to ask what the Hierophant is here for. I'm going to do some clarification on the Hierophant, because that Hierophant is there to remind us, tried and true, hold to rites, hold to rituals, hold to things that you know work. Be patient. Don't try to come up. It's not a good time to come around and just for speed, the sake of speed, work through something and just, okay, we're going to take shortcuts. The Hierophant's about not taking shortcuts. Thank you, Spirit. This is one of those things where Hierophant is here to say, no, 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 no. Nay, Fluffy. No shortcuts. All right? Slow down. Do what you need to do. Remember the Queen of Swords. Remember everything. The Four of Wands, other people counter. And if you're not careful, the Four of Wands is going to be your problem. So what we want to look at here is we have the Hermit. We have the Hanged Man with the Hierophant, and we have the Nine of Cups. I think this is a beautiful set of cards for the Hierophant. You know, the Hermit talks about walking your own path. So you might need to back away and look and see where you're going and what's right for you. Don't just jump on the bandwagon. That could be that Four of Cups. You're just going to jump in and go with a bunch of people because you think it feels good, it feels right, or whatnot. Don't do it. The Hanged Man is here to remind you, get a new perspective. Look at perspective. The Hermit, step back and build your own perspective. And this is how things are going to come through. And this is how things are going to work out for you. And this is how a beautiful week can come to fruition for you, because the Nine of Cups is there talking about you can manifest joy, happiness, and harmony. But you got to walk your own path. You got to slow down. When other people don't want to, you've got to be the voice of reason, and you've got to say, whoa, wait a minute. Let's look at this from it. You're going to have to be the voice of reason this week. I can see that really, really clearly now. All right. So now we're looking at this. Let's take a look and find out what the strength you have, what power you have, what do you need to draw on that's going to help you achieve this beautiful balance of the Hierophant. So you're weak, and we have the Magician. It's on you. Earlier with my Leos and my fire, I love how when I'm working the elements, different things tend to pop up in different places, but a lot of the cards remain the same. So now, listen to me. The Magician is here saying you have to remember you have the answers. You know what to do. When it's time, don't doubt yourself. If somebody's taking you off course, if somebody's coming up with an idea and everybody's like, yeah, let's jump in, let's just get it done. Whoa, hold the phone. The Magician is here saying you have intuition, you have emotions, you have everything, and this is on you. Your ability to step aside and be your own boss right now is going to be huge. It's going to be massive. Now, the shadow card for this reading right here, the shadow card, the Tower. Where this is coming from, what I see is going to happen. Something huge is going to hit you this week in a change, okay? And that's why this reading is so relevant, The Tower is saying something's going to hit you hard and you're going to go into a panic, thus the Knight of Swords. What I want you to do is remember, hold the phone. Stop. What throws us for a loop with change is how we handle it. And Sagittarius, you need to understand how you handle this change is going to reflect in the weeks to come. You might have to go back if you're going too fast or you're just being angry at the change and just getting things done. You might have to go back, redo your work. Remember that Seven of Pentacles was there. She's drawing in the sand. So understand, make sure that you know and you understand there's some change coming this week. Get prepped. Say your prayers. Talk to Spirit and say, be with me. When this hits, remind me to be the Hierophant. Look at it. Plan it. Because guess what? In your life, there's always going to be changes. That's what's key. So make sure you got the Queen of Swords in your pocket, that you remember to use your mind. Don't just charge through, okay? That you have to nurture things. You have to work with things. Remember that Four of Wands, other people might be getting upset and getting you frantic, and we fall in with them. That's one of the huge things I'm seeing. Don't let it be. You don't have to cut them down. You don't have to hurt anybody or anything else, but you can step away and look at things from a complete different perspective. You will thank me. Other people will thank you when you step into this change and you handle it with dignity, pride, and power. Bangarang.